Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney very critical of Shakur Stevenson's performance on Thursday night, the Formula One night against Edwin De Los Santos. We thought that Edwin De Los Santos was definitely going to put up a good fight, which he did, but we didn't expect Shakur Stevenson to look the way that he did. And I think a lot of it has to do with the injury, to be honest. I'm not trying to give him an excuse. I'm not saying all that. I didn't even like Shakur's statement where he said no excuses, but I wasn't 100%. Like, obviously that's facts, but like, just do what Errol Spence did and said, no excuses. I'm not, even if I had an excuse, I wouldn't give you one. So it's tough. It's tough in these situations because, like, he's honestly, I think he's telling the truth about it, but he should just leave it alone, because if you address it, it draws more attention to it, in my opinion. I think, guys like Devin called it, embarrassing. He called him a bum. He said he should have given Shakur Stevenson 10% instead of the 25%. He didn't even deserve the 25%. Ryan Garcia said he couldn't even stay awake to watch the fight. Like, a lot of guys are hating on Shakur Stevenson right now, and Shakur kind of predicted it. He said that a lot of guys like Frank Martin, guys like Devin Haney, they were ducking him, essentially. They got into the negotiation process and threw out fake offers or just didn't want part of it because they wanted to wait to see Shakur have a bad performance, and I think that's what they kind of got. And by Shakur's standards, he feels like he wasn't happy with his performance. He said that in the post-fight, interview. So I think that this fight wasn't indicative of what Shakur Stevenson is. That wasn't his best performance. I think that he was still adjusting to the weight class. What was that, his third fight at 135? He weighed in at 133.8 pounds. Usually when you're a natural lightweight, you weigh in, right under that weight limit at like 134.7, 134.8, or 135 on the dot. Shakur came in 1.2 pounds underneath the lightweight limit. So that tells me that he's still very light. Maybe he doesn't feel the strength yet. I think that despite how filled out he is at 35, I think that he's still going to get bigger. And that shows me that he's not going to be at 140 anytime soon. So I don't even think Devin Haney is going to come back down to 135. So I think we should start straying away from the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight. Unless Devin's really confident after seeing Shakur fight De Los Santos and not look the best, maybe Devin takes that fight, but coming back to 35 is going to be tough on his body. It's going to take a toll on Haney's body for sure. So I don't think that happens, but a guy like Ryan Garcia could potentially fight Devin. I think that's a good fight, but they're also talking about Teofimo fighting Ryan, so I don't know what's going to happen in terms of who Devin would fight after this fight. Maybe he fights the winner of Ryan Garcia and Teo, assuming Ryan Garcia gets past Oscar Duarte in December. Not an easy fight either. So there are a lot of things that still have to go right for us to get one of these big fights. But hey, that's the sport of boxing. And Shakur didn't look great. I'll admit, I'm a big Shakur enthusiast. I think he's the best at 135 right now. Him and Tank, for sure. That's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, I think. I think that's the most intriguing fight. Shakur just didn't use his left hand, so what does that tell you? He just wouldn't use it if he's not injured? Like, it doesn't make sense. Put two and two together. He was probably hurt. That's the reason why he had to use the jab. He only had that as his tool. And honestly, he beat up De Los Santos with the jab, so I'm not hating. I'm also not saying it was the most exciting fight. I was tired yesterday, and that main event took a while to come up. The co-main event was exciting with Navarrete and Conceição, but trying to stay up for the Shakur fight was a little bit harder just because, it was just Shakur beating him up with the jab, still trying to find his moments, and De Los Santos catching Shakur with some combinations with the third and fourth punches. I think that's one of the keys to beating a guy like Shakur. You have to be a combination puncher. You have to be able to set a trap for him where you're not necessarily trying to land that first or second punch within the combination, but you're trying to land that third and definitely that fourth punch. And I think that's where fighters are going to have a lot of success. Guys like Tank, they're going to have to close in on that distance. It's easier said than done, but I think a guy like Tank, if he can put these combinations together, might not land the first or second punch. He's going to definitely land the third and the fourth, though, because Shakur, if you guys watch that fight, you saw him pulling back a lot. He does that a lot. I think against guys that are elite and guys that are really like snipers, like De Los Santos even caught Shakur a decent amount of times. I think guys like Tank, guys like Devin are going to be a little bit more accurate. So I think honestly Shakur is in for a difficult night against Tank and Devin. I think Tank is definitely the more difficult fight for him. I think he knows that. But I think when Shakur Stevenson's 100% healthy, I think he'll be ready. You know, he issued the apology to guys like Floyd, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford for coming to the fight because he feels like he disappointed them and let them down. At the end of the day, every fighter has a bad night. You know, we know how the sport of boxing works. You could have a 6, 7, 8 week training camp, but it doesn't matter until that one night. And that night for Shakur wasn't his best night. And that's just how this goes, you know, when the bright lights turn on. And I still think he's a great fighter. I still think he's a top dog at 35, and I'm excited to see what he does next. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, guys hating on Shakur Stevenson just because of that one performance. I don't like it, but at the same time, maybe it promotes a fight for guys like Devin, Ryan Garcia, and Shakur so they could get it on, and of course Tank as well. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.